Good afternoon. My name is Paul and I am the Chief High-Hegian at Gosford Bay Outdoors. Gosford Bay Outdoors is a charity, a SCIO, a Scottish charitable incorporated organisation, and we are concerned with youth work in the context of renovating this old outdoor centre. You probably know that because you're probably someone's mum or someone that's actually here today. We don't have an awful lot of followers, and I keep forgetting to say when I'm doing this to like and subscribe and leave a comment. So do like and subscribe and leave a comment, because what we hope to do is get a bit of a following and exposure on YouTube and other places to raise some funds out with the normal letters and application forms that we're filling in to spend on this place. We have 12, nearly 13 acres of grounds, and the young folk are down to, we've got a full busload today. We've got a team down here mowing and strimming, and we've got another team up the top of the hill digging, trying to find the water pipe that fills the tank because it's blocked. Let's go and see what the young people are doing. We've not covered every square metre of the grounds here. We haven't found any more rogue jobbies. Last week we were down and there was what looked like a rogue jobby. Someone had been in and spilt something. It might have been a jobby. It didn't smell like a jobby, not that we like put our noses to it. It certainly looked like a jobby. Actually, you know, it looked like a, I don't know why we're discussing this, but it did look like it didn't look, whatever it was, it didn't look good. And so far, touch wood, so good. And also the building was secure. I should also say, when we had our little thing that happened that we're not talking about, we set up some telltales in the building and we forgot that the architects were coming down to do a measured survey, and they did come down and do a measured survey, and you know, they found all our telltales and reset them, so good for them. There was like a log propped up above a door, and we're lucky they didn't get clonked on the head, but apologies and thank you for that. Look where we are again. We're up at the tank, which I'm standing on, the tank that isn't filling up. I have a team over there who are digging a trench to try and see if we can find where this blue pipe terminates at that end up there. We'll go up and have a look and see what they're doing. Basically they're digging it. Whoa. I'm not hopeful. I'm really not hopeful.
I'm not seeing a pipe here. What if they just bent it that way?
So again, this water catchment system has beaten us. We've dug a trench there, it's 2 feet deep, and the pipe's still not there. And frankly, we just don't know where along this ditch that pipe might be, or even what's on the end of that pipe. I've tried to Google this, I've tried to YouTube it, and I just don't know what it looks like. I assume the pipe goes into some sort of catchment thing that'll have some sort of filtration on it to keep the bigger bits of lumps of rubbish out of it to stop it blocking. But where it would be here, I don't know. If anyone works for Borders Council, if anyone was involved with this, get in touch, because we're getting fed up. We're getting fed up trying to fix it. I suspect if the council came out to inspect this, they might have something to say about how overgrown it is, and we would maybe need to get the farmer out to, or someone out to tidy it up.
Surely you could have used a metal detector though, like they do in that film. Big rocks though.
We have had enough. We've dug. That trench is 2 feet deep. Deeper in places, and there's no whiff of a pipe. So I think we're going to do some research, more research, see if we can find plans. I don't think that's going to happen. We're just going to go back down the hill and forget this ever happened again. Lovely day though. Well, maybe just not for digging holes. I think that water supply, the main water supply, we will include on the build, on the actual renovation, because I think it probably needs redone anyway. A concrete tank at the top of the hill, maybe some sort of plastic tank with an electric motor pump. We'll need to explore that, but I think whatever happens there, we need to get a machine up there to dig. And anything at this stage is just speculative because we don't really know where that pipe's going to. So yeah, they did really well there. Always happy to see young folk down here away from their screens, which these guys aren't particularly bad for, but getting some fresh air and, you know, just doing stuff outdoors. Here endeth the old farts lecture. We are down at the Scout Hall and I'm here because someone's coming to look at our tractor, which will be appearing behind me imminently. I think the gentleman's travelling from Darlington, I think he said. So I suspect he's going to take it. I've been brutally honest in the advert, so I think this might be the, thank God it's still there. This might be the last time we see the tractor. The only thing I've done since we last looked at it is I sort of put paracord and lots of silicone sealant around the back axles because they were leaking. Other than that, it's the same as it was. I've not really done anything else. Well, I took the back wheels off it and that was a bit of a job. So I'm just going to get it out and run it around the village. He actually told me as well the steering on it is really dodgy. He said that if I put my foot out onto the linkage and like just brace my foot on it, then it'll sort it, then it fixes it. So I'm going to give that a bash. Tried that foot on the, I'll show you. I think the idea is you sit on the seat there and you put a foot here on this. This is like the steering linkage and it's what's loose. So if you put your foot, I get it. I get why it might work, but it didn't work. In fact, it just takes a foot off the brake, which I think is quite important. So anyway, I'll get it prepared for movement. Should say that we're not getting totally out of the agricultural machinery market. We have upgraded our tractor to this pristine ride-on lawnmower you can see behind me in the shed. There, you can see that. If I'm being honest, it's not exactly pristine. We tried to take that back wheel off and the shaft came out with it, and we've tried everything to get the shaft out of the wheel and it is not shifting. It was like 100 quid. I mean, you know, you pay for what you get. And what we got was 100 quid's worth of shite. It's a Scottish term for something that isn't very good. It's a wheel horse 211-3, so it's like it's got like a, I think it's like a 10 horsepower Briggs and Stratton engine in it, and three gears. And so far we've not really been able to do anything with it. Everything we've tried to do, it's either been jammed on and we couldn't get it off, or we got it off and we now can't get it back on. To be honest, I prefer the tractor, but we're going to persevere with this. And I think maybe the gentleman that's coming up from Darlington, I think he's coming from, might be bringing us something else as well. We're just going to be awash with awful garden equipment. So the gentleman is here. I'm no expert. He was in a short wheelbase transit van and I don't think our tractor's going to fit in that. So yeah, so he's obviously come up to have a look. He does have a big lorry that he will be taking it away on, but he's not in that but we'll see what he says. Be interesting. The tractor is sold. The gentleman has left a £100 deposit and he's coming back on Saturday for it, so there's that. He's also bringing up a ride-on lawnmower, which another one, which he tells me that will run. I've said I don't want it if it doesn't run, because one that doesn't run is already enough. That'll be the... Obviously we're getting some money as well. It's not just the lawnmower, so some money in a lawnmower, another ride-on lawnmower. Technically it's not a ride-on lawnmower, it's a ride-on, because it doesn't have a mower. It doesn't matter. Come the weekend, the tractor will be away. Back to Towford. We don't mind folk coming on the grounds and like, but honestly, have some class. What is this? Blue Wicked. Have you nae couth? What are you, like 14 years old? I don't know if you can hear that in the background. That really high pitched strimming. I don't know that it's supposed to make that noise. I just don't know. That's our dodgy strimmer. It's never really ran properly. I'm just not sure it should be so high pitched as that. We're up at Hilltop Campsite, so the guys that were digging the hole, the trench up there, to no avail, didn't find that pipe. We're down here and we're going to tidy this tree away here. It's fallen, we're going to cut it down, get all the boughs off it, rebuild some brush walls here, and then eventually we'll come up here and strim Hilltop Campsite, because this is a good campsite. Sheltered, it's flat as well, so we'll get this tidied up and rebuild these brush walls. What we don't want to do is do any work over in the trees there. That is red squirrel country, and we're going to leave them exactly as they are. We don't want to disturb them. See, Thomas is climbing a tree on the basis that he might fall out of it, and that could turn into YouTube hits. Let's go and film that. There's still a fair bit of green on that tree, but it is upended. It's not... tree's dead. It's not going to survive. So we're going to tidy it up. And maybe Thomas will fall out of the tree. It's like Tarzan. These young people don't even know who Tarzan is. Does that not just make you feel manly? Sorry, is that Kamala? Are we allowed to see that these days? It's fine, you can be manly as long as you're not toxic with it, Thomas. He's like Spider-Man in that tree. So this is where he wedges himself. No, no, no. Oh, 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 oh. Oh my word. Here we are at the tail end of our afternoon down at Towford. The tanks there are filled up. They're about, I think, 2/3 full each, so they've been up there and they've dipped both tanks, which is quite good. And the older crowd are down somewhere getting some more fresh air. They come in and sit in the van and just sit in the van, and it's like you're surrounded by all this loveliness and you're sitting in a metal box. Anyway, listen, we just took the memory cards out of our trail cams and we've had more visitors. Happy to report that they just kind of looked around, they saw the cameras and, you know, looked around. We do, or rather we would like people to respect the grounds. If you're going to use the campsites, fair enough. If you're going to use the campfire circles, also fair enough. But don't leave your litter. There's 2 Blue Wicked. I mean, who drinks Blue Wicked other than 14-year-old children? And they shouldn't be doing that. And also, is it too much to ask to put that in the bin? Put it in the bin. We're going to get up the road, we're going to tidy up, get the cameras resituated and get up the road. We've done a lot of strimming and mowing. We've actually trimmed and mowed everything we normally trim and mow. We don't normally do it all on the same visit, but we did it all on the same visit here because we really needed to catch up. We've got a new person, his name's Logan. That's hopefully he'll come back. He worked really hard on the mower there. The Sunday afternoon trips are work trips. There's more work than obviously things that we need to do, but when we come down and camp, that's the fun stuff. So yeah, so we'll get tidied up and we'll get down the road. Thanks for watching. Remember, like and subscribe, all that stuff that YouTube wants you to do for the algorithm, and we will see you in the next video.